What happens when people stop interacting with one another? Do we forget our manners? What happens when a plant stops receiving sunshine? Does it wither away to nothing? What happens when we always distance ourselves from others? Do we forget what love feels like? What happens when isolation and heartbreak go hand in hand? Do we forget we are alive? What happens when we are not able to continue to work and produce? Does our family go hungry? What happens when we shame someone for not meeting our own ideals? Do we gather a mob of others to gang up on them? What happens when people forget what a smile looks like? Does it make it harder to see those who are hurting? What happens when we are under constant peer pressure? Do we degrade others for approval? What happens when we no longer exchange a simple handshake greeting? Do we lose all civility towards each other? What happens when we only focus on what we want others to do? Do we forget the needs of others? What happens to children when they are not hugged, held, and nurtured? Do they know they are loved? What happens to mankind when we distance from one another? Do we forget how to be human? What happens when we live our life in constant fear? Do we forget to live? Humanity is facing some very hard challenges. Some will rise to the occasion, pushing through to get those hugs, holding hands, sneaking the kiss, and nurturing that child. Some will be scared and take precautions they believe will keep them safe. Some will comply even as they put their own health at risk with many serious allergic reactions to the metal and materials. We should always remember, when we force our will on another, we are oppressing them and taking their freedoms away.